Okay, so today's topic is visualization. Basically, visualization comes from the word visualize, which means to form a mental image of or to make visible. So for this literary skill, we're going to be drawing the scene that we think the text is describing. Okay, so let's say for an example that you have the text that says this. She rode on a unicorn through a corn maze, balancing a watermelon on her head. Now, you simply draw the picture that you see when you read the text. This one's really easy since it's all description, so here's mine. Okay, so this is our girl with the watermelon and the unicorn. And now here's the corn part, the corn maze. Doesn't have to be, completely accurate. In fact, I almost guarantee you won't be. So there's a couple corn stalks. That seems pretty legit right here. And I'm going to take some creative liberty and, how to flower right here. Honestly, visualization is pretty fun. You can pretty much do whatever you want with it. And just imagine what the scene would look like. Everyone's visualization will be different because everybody interprets the text a different way. So don't feel like yours has to look like mine or anybody else's. Alright, so let's try a harder one now. This is a poem called The Road Not Taken. And while I go through, I'm pretty much going to just underline some things that I think would be important just for visualization purposes. And you really don't have to do this. This is basically annotating, and that's for a different video. So I'm just going to read it and underline it for you guys. Would things have really been so different? Would the world really have been so shaken if when I were a much younger man, had I chosen the road not taken? Would the days have been any brighter, or the nights darker than they are? Would I still have lived in such obscurity, or shined brighter than any star? Okay, so this one's a bit more difficult because not all of it is description, but don't worry because no visualization is necessarily wrong because you're just drawing what you think of when you read, and it doesn't have to be completely accurate or pertain to every word in the poem. Okay, so I took a little more time with this one. You don't have to, but this is what I came up with. And it's not very elaborate, but it's just what I thought of when I was reading the poem. And this is the younger man part, when it says, if I were a much younger man. And you can see it's a kind of small boy. I tried to make him look as much as a boy as possible. And here is the brighter days in one path and the darker nights in another path. And this is the shine brighter than any star, right in the middle. So I basically thought of him before he chose a path. So yeah, that was mine. And visualization is really helpful when you want to understand more about what the situation looks like, especially with poems and things that are more abstract and they don't really tell you anything about the setting. You can really think more about what the poem is about when you can kind of see it. And when you're drawing, try not to think only about the text, but also the characters and the settings as well. Okay, so what I mean by thinking about the characters and the setting when you're doing a visualization is like What is the mood of the situation that you're reading about? Is it dark or happy? Or, you know, just think about that. And also, are the characters happy or sad? Like, what is their emotion on their face? You can sometimes put that on there. It can be happy, it can be sad, it can be really sad. Or, you know, it could also be angry, I guess. There's an angry one for you. And of course, you're not limited to the simplest of emotions, but it's the easy ones to portray when you're visualizing. And you can think about where the scene is taking place, like the setting. A lot of things that go into the setting are things like day or night. Or, you know, yeah, just day or night, actually. Let's see. Yeah, day or night, and just place. Yeah, place suggested by the cameraman, and time too. Although that kind of goes with day or night. You don't really portray an exact time when you're drawing, but you don't need. I mean, you don't need so many details. Obviously, when you're drawing, but it's just some things to think about when visualizing a piece of text to make it easier to understand the situation or understand characters' emotions, and that helps you with other things like character development, which other videos will tell you about. Alright, so this one is called You're Beautiful. And this is basically the after assignment for you guys. I'm not going to write it all out this time, but I think you guys will do fine. The poem goes like this. Things aren't really as bad as they seem. Listen to me, I'm your self-esteem. You're not really ugly, and you're not overweight. Think of your good points. Your complexion is great. You have a great sense of humor and are as smart as can be. Who cares if you don't wear a perfect size 3? You're thoughtful and caring, your actions will show. The heart is full of love that I already know. Don't listen to those who throw insults your way. Just smile and nod and think of this day. I'm saying it now and I'll say it again. How you look doesn't matter. True beauty lies within. So that's your assignment, and just have fun with it. Be creative. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and I know it wasn't the most fantastical thing in the world, but it's pretty relaxed, it was pretty informal, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And here's my brother. Come here. He filmed this whole thing. He was really nice about it until the very end. So yeah, thank you to him.